I always go on a pitch thinking I am the best player on this pitch.
Yeah.
Even though I know I'm not the best player. But I just think every person's thought process going onto a pitch is be the best player. But as a man, you feel like a sense of I need to stay strong. Yeah, you know what I mean. And I didn't cry until the funeral. I remember you fell on me in the goal. You hurt. There's probably loads of people who think that Tonks is a prick, but I'll play hard on the pitch.
Yeah.
But if you want to go in the bar, I'll buy you a beer.
Yeah.
But no problem. But I'll in that 90 minutes, I just want to win a game of football. Do you know what I mean? And it's them people like managers talk about 1%. Like I will do anything.
Yeah.
It's like people say, "Would you cheat to win a game of football?" See, that's a sticky one for me because I'll do anything to win a game of football.
Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me.
Mate, I've done so many fucking interviews and stuff
Oh, yeah.
the last couple of weeks. I've been mad.
Been enjoying it though?
Yeah, it's a bit different, isn't it?
Yeah.
Bit of limelight.
Everyone asking the same questions or not?
How did you throw it?
Tom Tonks, how are you?
Yeah, I'm all good, mate. You?
Yeah, very well, thank you. Thanks for coming and seeing me.
Never a problem.
So is that long throw?
It's getting longer.
Is it?
I think so, yeah.
I've played with some people who can throw the ball, but I would feed your ego and say yours is probably one of the best.
I haven't got an ego, mate.
One of the longest.
Thank you. What, you still on about my throw?
Yeah, mate, he's quality. I watched the FA Cup game, mate, and I knew it was coming. You know, knowing the romance of the FA Cup myself,
Yeah.
and a game like that, it was class.
Hey, it always happens, though. There's always one, though, in there. In the FA Cup. There's always one. I remember a few years back, I think Warrington Town played somebody on a Friday night. I think it was Exeter. And they beat them 1-0 as well. But that night, Exeter absolutely peppered Warrington. They were clearing it off the line. But we didn't really do that. I think Jazz made a couple of good saves. But they're saves and catches we're expecting to make being a good keeper, do you know what I mean? So
I think if you try and play against teams, it works in their favour. I think stick to what you're good at.
Mate, we do exactly the same regardless of who we play against, you know what I mean? We try and stay in the game. Try and nick something. Because even if we go a goal down, our game plan doesn't really change, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's good, man. But
what is it? Is it direct, go to Creaney as much as you can? Was it play through the thirds?
no, we don't really play through the thirds, but we don't just boom it from the get-go. We've got some good players, man. Like some really good players. Like we was just saying off air, like we've lost a couple of good players as well through injuries and stuff. But you know, we're at that level now where we can get good players in on loan and stuff. I think the gaffer's been lucky enough to, you know, build a couple of connections with clubs.
Gonna do.
Yeah, so we've got a young lad on loan from Fleetwood. We've had a couple from Walsall and stuff. So yeah, it's good, man. But enjoying the high life at the minute because we're on that crest of a wave. But I'll be playing some big teams and as well. And away from home, it's like it's not intimidating. It's like there's a lot of people there. Do you know what I mean? It's like we played Oldham yesterday, and there's like nearly 7,000 there.
It's mad.
It's a bit crazy. Like when, you know, most of the lads at Tamworth at the minute, like the majority of their short careers have played at Step 3 and stuff. Do you know what I mean? So you're going from like, I don't know, sometimes 150 fans, and you're going to like 7,000 in like 3 or 4 years. It's a bit
Great
crazy.
experience, isn't it?
Mate, it's class.
And then some of these big clubs coming to Tamworth's ground where you're getting changed in them log cabins where they're falling apart and
it's so funny because obviously the porter cabins / changing rooms at Tamworth, nothing's changed since you were there probably, but mate, they're all outside in the cold, where we got 2 bins outside that we use as ice baths, just full of water, and they're all outside with the foam rollers and the mats and stuff, and they got a shed load of stuff, all the boots, all outside because they can't get them in the changing room.
I think it works to your advantage as well. I've mentioned it a few times on the podcast. Is when I was at Walsall, Paul Merson painted the away dressing rooms brown, like a shit colour to make it negative.
Yeah.
And then I remember when I was playing for big clubs that it was always a thing in the dressing room. You know, forget where we are. You know, we have to rise above that.
Yeah, it happens everywhere. Like I say, it works in your favour.
Yeah.
perfect example is the FA Cup. Huddersfield, they're probably going like there. You listen to their gaffers' interviews and stuff before the game, and he's going, "Yeah, we've done this and we've done that. We've trained properly. We're a big club. We've got undersoil heating and stuff." And going, "Why didn't you come down to a head gaff, mate? Because it's so different, so different."
Come to the 4G on the slope.
Yeah. To be fair, the slope's not. It's not there no more.
The slope is there.
You reckon?
It's not as bad as it was, mate. Did you ever play on it?
Never
before?
played on it. Never seen it.
Wow. Yeah, it was horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, again, teams hated to come and play in it, so it worked in your favour.
What was the pitch like back then?
It wasn't bad, mate. There was bits of grass on it, but it was... to be fair, a good groundsman. It was a good pitch compared to the others. Stafford Rangers, it was a renowned mud bath back in the day.
Crap.
And they was in the Conference and National League, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I loved my time at Tamworth, to be fair. Great club.
Yeah. And Degsy there?
Degsy, Buster, yeah.
Buster, he's just give it in. To be
I know,
fair,
yeah.
At the start of the season. I think he was getting just a bit too much for him. But
That's why he's doing his retirement game. Well, he's 128 now, you know. He's
probably the amount of points he has a week in the Weatherspoons.
Never washed the kit once either.
Oh, mate, Degs is everything.
Longest career in the game. Robbed it, he has.
Yeah, mate. Good guys, to be fair.
Class, mate.
Degs is class, man.
Yeah.
He's class. Like, even at training on Thursday, it was a little bit cold, so I says, Degs, do you mind if I take a cup of tea in the car over me, mate? And before I even knew the kettle was on, I got two sugars in my cup, mate.
Degs is a legend, mate.
Yeah, class guy, man.
So talk to me about the FA Cup match, because it was a bit like the Tom Tonks show watching it, mate, with the commentators never shut up about you.
Chris Sutton called me a legend, mate, you know? I was buzzing with that. Everyone was texting me saying, Chris Sutton loves you. I was like, it's what it is, mate. But it was just one of them games, like, I felt like I had a good game. Like, when you come off a pitch, you've played loads of games, and you think, I weren't very good today. Well, not you. You was always good, to be fair, weren't you?
Yeah. I don't need to answer that.
No. But, and then you get off and your phone's going crazy. There's little TikToks and stuff of the Tom Tonks, the throw models and all this.
No, but you say when you had a good game, you had a good footballing game.
Yeah.
You played good football. You was strong in the middle, mate. But then for the last 10, 15 years, people rip the piss out of you saying all you can do is throw the ball. And the one thing which everybody has you up for is what won the game.
Yeah.
No two ways about it. That won the game.
Mate, you say that and you bang on. And obviously the last couple of seasons, the higher I've gone up, it seems like you get a little bit more respect.
True, yeah.
Because these are proper football people and they don't just see a one-dimensional thing.
Yeah.
And they see that you can actually do a little bit and you pick up second balls and bits like that. But, yeah, look, mate, me and you, we've had it. Like, we've never been slim, have we, on a football pitch? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're always getting, you fat. Now I'm getting, you're bald, and you're fat, mate. Mate, I don't care. Like, I really don't care. It's like, we played Yeovil a couple of weeks back on a Tuesday night. And to be fair to them, they bought a few of a big club, Yeovil. And there was a small section, like, obviously, because I take a throw in and you're getting a bit of stick. So anyway, they didn't beat us. It was 0-0. And at the end of the game, I always go to my dad, shake his hand, say, well done, blah, 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 and all that. And then all of a sudden, this bloke's just stood up, like this old guy, and he's going, you fat, useless. And I'm going, mate, I just lifted my top off. I went, mate, I'm fat, part-time, and you still can't beat me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I says, you keep paying your £15 to come in and watch me just throw it.
Yeah.
So over the years, you get so much abuse, mate, but you just take it with a pinch of salt, don't you? And you just start laughing at it now.
Yeah, but you hit the nail on the head. Like, from a footballing standpoint, it's like the lower down you go, the less respect you get. And the higher up you go, the more of a weapon people in the game see you as, and they utilise that. They're looking for match winners and catalysts in which can dictate a game. And like I said, that's a weapon. Mm-hmm. But I've had it from a footballing standpoint where you're playing in front of 30,000 fans and they're chanting that I'm a donkey and a fat bastard. And then you get old and you drop down the levels. And then I was at this one game and there was like 4 fans just saying, you're fat as fuck, Pez.
Yeah.
And I'm like, lads, like there's just a bar there. I could easily just get one and choke slam him or something.
Yeah.
So lads, just get a life, man.
Yeah, like
but that's what they pay the money for.
That's it. You want to come down on a Saturday and just have a few beers.
Yeah, life's hard, ain't it, man? So that they live for that non-league football environment.
I got like I say, there was a kid yesterday what do I was taking a free kick, and he went, "Why don't I just pick it up and throw it?" I was like, "Do you know what? What if I could? Because my hands are probably better than my feet, to be honest." Yeah. But nah, like I say, I just try and laugh it off now and have the crack with whoever. But mate,
I'll call it. I was watching the game and I was enjoying it, to be fair. And I don't enjoy watching many football games, to be honest. And I've seen it like 3 or 4 minutes before the goal. You've took a throw and it's just at the edge of the 6-yard box, and I saw the keeper get confident, and he's made out like he wants to come and command the box and come and punch it. And I thought that's his downfall. Yeah. And then when that it's probably the second one, but the one after that coming, I thought this guy's he's going to be backtracking. The second the keeper's backtracking, he's done for.
Yeah, mate. Once I can get a good grip on that ball and say like, I'm inside the 18-yard box and I'm throwing it towards the goal. I think there's a throw in the second half where I throw it like outside the back post from inside the 18-yard box. Yeah. So, sometimes it does lead keepers into a little bit of a false sense of security.
It's not on TV, is it, the next game?
Nah, it's a bit gutting to be fair.
I know they changed the BBC technology to do the distance of your throws.
Yeah.
They must have created that just for you.
Well, sometimes they do it with free kicks and then they see the distance and stuff.
Doing it for the first class.
Yeah. The clock went at 44 yards, I think, which is take that. Because do you know what? People go, "Oh, how far can you actually throw it?" I was like, I don't really know. I've never measured it. I just pick it up and chuck it as far as I can. If it helps us score a goal.
That's the science too.
Mate, literally, I swear. People go, "Oh, what do you do in the gym?" I say, "You know what? I just say, throw medicine balls up against the wall and stuff." But nah, it's just train normally. I don't know. I really don't know what it is. My dad had got half a lung throw. My 2 brothers have got half a lung throw as well.
You never do athletics, javelin or shot put?
No, nothing.
Because I can't throw for shit and I'm active. I still throw a ball anywhere.
Mate, I'd actually like to have a go at like javelin.
Yeah.
And see how far I could throw it, because I can throw. Obviously, I played cricket when I was younger as well, and I could throw a cricket ball miles.
Really?
Yeah. Like, there's been times where, I don't know if people know cricket, but they go, not two to him. Like, because I'm on the boundary, and they know if they take a chance at that second run, I'm probably going to run them out kind of thing. But don't know where it is. I'm just massive, just throw it in from everywhere.
I think if you beat Burton, mate, they'll have you on Blue Peter doing all these science stuff and that.
I know, yeah. I want to. I don't know if you know golf, but a lot of YouTube and stuff. But Tubes and Jimmy Bullard do that golf life, don't they? I'm hoping I can get on there because I love my golf as well.
Hitting a golf ball's not the same as taking a throw, though, is it?
No, but I can smack
my
drive.
Golf ball.
Yeah. In the summer, mate, I can hit it like 300, 310.
Really?
Yeah, so I'll take that. Played this morning, I was crap though.
Just imagine if it was as good with your feet as yours with your arms.
I wouldn't be playing non-league, would I?
Yeah.
Me and you would be in the Premier League, mate.
You don't have to rope me in.
I'll chuck at you, Edit. Cheers.
You're on the podcast now, where you don't have to smoke your phone. I appreciate it.
That's all right, man.
So, let's touch base on like what's got you to this point then, man. So, as a kid, who was you playing for?
I actually started as a kid. Obviously, you just play Sunday morning and stuff, and I did a few months at Wolves, a few months at Walsall and stuff.
And anyone else from your Twitter, mate, you're a diehard Wolves fan, aren't you?
I love the Wolves.
Yeah,
I love the Wolves. People say to me, like, when you stop playing football, are you going to be a manager? And I say, I'm caught between being a manager and just following the Wolves everywhere, because I just don't know what it is. Like, people say, "Oh, you just love the Wolves." I got Wolves tattoo on my leg and everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I just love them, mate. It's just class.
That's what I love about you, to be fair, because you're playing football, but you've still got your team you support and you wear your heart on your sleeve.
That's it.
I get asked all the time, who do you support? And I've been playing for 20 plus years. I don't support anyone at this point. So it's just class to see how you're patriotic for Wolves, man.
Mate, I love football in general, but you've just said, I don't really enjoy watching football unless it's a Premier League.
You love playing?
Yeah, I love playing. I love playing.
Yeah.
So, when you're on the bench, and you're going, I've worked all week at the gym just to prepare myself for this game, and then you're not playing. It just deflates you. And then, I understand it from a manager's point of view. They're going, we need good attitudes and stuff, but it's so hard when you love playing football.
Yeah.
And you've prepared all week and you're not playing. And I don't understand how you're meant to feel.
It's a mindset thing, isn't it? Because I was never happy and I fell out with managers because I didn't want to sit on the bench.
Mm.
And it creates drama. But like the Manchester City number 3, he's getting paid well. but he knows his job,
Yeah.
and that's his job. But when you're preparing physically and mentally for a game, and then you're not playing, and then you see 3 crosses go to the back stick and no one's there,
Yeah, yeah.
you're thinking, fucking give me it.
That's me. Yeah, I totally understand. It's like when players are losing tackles and then they lead to goals, and you're going, that don't happen if I'm on the pitch. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, man, it's so disheartening, like you say, because I love football, and it is. You just get worked up for the game, and then all of a sudden, like someone else is playing. You're going, like, what am I meant to do now?
I haven't had many good communicators as managers. I'd throw a couple of names in the hat, and they're from like Lee Sinner to give me my pro, and then I went to Alty with him, and Charlie Blakenmore from Chasetown back in the day, who's doing well in the business world now, and it's obvious why, because he's a good communicator.
Yeah.
Like it's not a hard conversation to have. Look, I'm leaving you out today, and this is why. Like, you're still a weapon for me. I'm still going to utilise you.
Yeah.
But managers just don't have those conversations, whether they feel awkward to have them.
Yeah.
But you shouldn't be a manager. You need to manage those 20-plus players, everyone individually, and they don't.
Yeah. See, sometimes I'm like, if I'm not playing, in that moment of you not picking me, I probably don't want to talk to you until after the game.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because I'm angry. And whatever I say, I probably don't mean. But I still think I should be playing.
And I think that's the mentality.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's him telling you why he's doing it, and it's you telling him why you think he's wrong. So you come to, like, you don't come to an agreement anyway.
Yeah.
So I don't mind managers not talking to me. It's when the explanation after it is not really good enough.
It's just a sellout explanation.
Yeah, but managers are always right.
Yeah.
Aren't they?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's their final decision.
Yeah.
And they don't pick a team to lose a game of football.
Yeah.
So as a player, you have to accept it.
Same as referees as well, where you say, oh, he's dived, he's cheating. I said, well, the refs give it. That's it. The refs made the decision.
Yeah, I can't.
No, but I would have preferred dialogue from a manager throughout the week. So when it gets to that decision before a game, like, your name's either not just pinned up on the wall and you're like, and seeing it for the first time like that, or you get some Joey, like, just before the announcer team, Kyle, someone leans their head in, Kyle, can I have a word?
Yeah.
That's the worst one, because then you got to get up in front of the dressing room, walk out, and what back in.
Mate, the worst one I had like that was when we was at Stourbridge. I'll never forget it. We played Kettering on a Saturday, and to be fair, I'd just come back from an ankle injury. I'd gone to Warsallwood on loan. I'd played a few games for them. I felt fit. I felt good. And trained on a Thursday. Didn't really do any shape at Stourbridge and stuff, so you never got a good idea of who was playing. And my dad says, I think he might play today, because Kettering were one of the better teams. And we were going for the league with them. And you do, then you get that finger, and he goes, Tonksy, come here a sec. I think it was 40 that used to do it. And it's probably about 20 steps into Gazzy's office, and I'm thinking, he's going to put me in today. Lass. I knew it was going to happen. I was in, and he goes, leaving you at the 16.
I'm out the squad.
I went, what? I went, nah. And I says, all right, then I'm just going to go and get my bag, because, again, whatever you say to me now, I'm angry. So whatever you say isn't going to matter. So I just got my bag, went and sat in the bar. Me and my dad got pissed and watched them lose 2-1. Not saying I was happy with it, but because I wanted my mates to do well. Everywhere you go, you've got mates at a football team, don't you? But yeah, that was another one where you get that finger and say, whenever you walk back in the changing room to get your bag and everything, as if you've had the bomb.
Yeah, and like you say, you prepare all week, and especially when you're working full time as well, and it's just heightened emotions. I mean, I had one at Colville when I was playing, and I wasn't really the man there.
Yeah.
But I was playing well, and when you know you're playing well, that's even worse.
That's it.
And I scored, and it was disallowed. This was just after half time, and then they just dragged me off. Like, just after half time when I scored, disallowed. So I thought, I'm going to get one again here.
Yeah.
Just pull me off, and I'm like, why?
No.
I says, "Now we're the managers. Listen to us." I said, "What the fuck? Why though?" And like, I was standing on the pitch, which again you shouldn't really do. And the assistant was a gobby little shite. He said, "You get off the fucking pitch, I'll make the decision." So again, I just walked off the pitch, walked straight into the dressing room, got changed, and got off. Do you know what I mean? But rightly or wrongly so, again, there was no form of communication or dialogue or relationship. But touching on that, like, people always say to me, "Oh, you've had a good career. You've had a great career."
You have to be fair.
Yeah, and
You've played some, mate, just looking up here, man, you've had some good
I do
clubs, man.
appreciate, like, I have worked hard. Mate, my first game was at 16, man.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to now. I scored 30 plus goals for Telford when I was 17.
Did you?
And the manager wanted to release me.
Man, that's fucking...
Yeah, he wanted to release me, man. I won the league, and I was the top highest ever goal scorer at the time. Fucking Bernie McNally, I'll give him a shout out, that bastard. But yeah, what I'm going to say is something I always say to players who are like asking for my opinion and feedback. I say I've been released by every team. I've been released at every level, and I got released by 3 non-league teams before I made it to the Football League.
Yeah.
And then I had a 10-year pro career. But like every time there's trial and tribulations every step of the way. And I mean, you're playing in the National League now, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
And again, very recently, your face probably didn't fit quite right at Stafford, did it, with the management or with us behind the scenes? And you end up where you are, and sometimes you have to move sideways to go up.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just move up.
Yeah, that's what, mate, I always say to, like, don't be scared to come out of the pro game and go into non-league, because there's always somebody watching. If you're playing well, somebody will watch you. Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying anybody's watched me, but because, you know, there's been times where I've had good games and good periods. So I've had a move.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying necessarily a brilliant move, but I've always played. You know, say when I was at Stourbridge, I got moved to Telford. Didn't really work out. Went back to Stourbridge. Got a move to Solihull.
Yeah.
I didn't really work at Solihull. Dropped back down again, and now I'm playing in the National League again.
Yeah.
So, like, as long as you're playing well, somebody will watch you.
Yeah.
So, like, don't ever be scared to drop down, even though you think, oh, it's a backward step. Or I'm losing 50 quid.
Yeah.
Or something, do you know what I mean? But it's all experience. I mean,
well, that's what non-league players do, isn't it? For a tenner, though, the sidestep for a tenner sometimes. And I don't necessarily agree with that, because it was never about the money, which will surprise a few people, because they all said, "Oh, you're getting more money, Pez, you're only playing for the money." And that was never the case for me. I was actually playing because I loved the game.
Yeah, that's what it is, mate. I love playing football. But there was a time when I was at Halzorian, and
of course, I forgot you was there.
And we won the league at Step Forward, to be fair, mate. It was class. 'Cause obviously, I got to play with Kurt and Chris, my 2 best mates, which, you know, it was ledge, to be fair.
Who was the gaffer then?
Bonky, John Hill.
Oh, yeah.
Then you got, like, who was it? You got Trevor Burrows. Then you had Kev Barry. You know, good guys, man. But you say it's not about the money, but when your money gets doubled, then it becomes a problem.
Yeah, of course.
Do you know what I mean? It's not necessarily 10, 20 quid. So that was when you start, mate, it's so mad. Because obviously I did go to Stourbridge, which it's a local thing for them. And you're getting, like, not death threats, but, like, stupid stuff. Like, let's make a poster of Tom Tonks and burn it when we play. And I'm going, mate, this is wild, this is.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I think it was a bit bizarre and stuff, but it is what it is. Everybody's going to have an opinion on what you do. You do what you feel is best for you.
It don't matter whether it's non-league or the Football League. Football fans love it. They die for it, don't they? It's all they talk about.
Yeah.
If I'm in the office now, it's all the lads talk about, man. Whether they're a Hales Owen fan, a Kidderminster fan, a Walsall fan.
Yeah.
They love it, don't they?
Yeah, mate. It's like, earlier I've listened to our gaffer's interview and Tramps from the game against Oldham yesterday. Now, I know Oldham are a big club.
Yeah.
Like, especially at the level that we're at. And on the original Premier League club, but, you know, they've done an interview after the game, our gaffers have, they do it every game. And you got, like, 5 or 6 Oldham fans, like, just replying, like, with abuse. Do you know what I mean? Because they love it. Like, it's their passion. Do you know what I mean? So everybody's going to have an opinion and stuff, but it just depends which ones you listen to, doesn't it?
Yeah. And then going back to, like, the sideward steps to moving forward, when I was doing well at Mansfield, there was a young lad called Lee Gregory there, and he couldn't get into 16, and then he went on to have a Premiership career, Championship. And then there was a lad at Lincoln called Sam Clucas. He won't get in a move. I think
Binge lad.
Yeah.
He played against me yesterday. Is it Oldham? I swear.
Yeah, no, he
played in the Prem for Hull, didn't he?
Played in the Prem for Hull, yeah. Stoke. He had a good career at Stoke.
Yeah, did you? Stoke,
I'll probably get him on here at some point.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he was in the Lincoln dressing room, weren't really featuring. moved to Hereford, and then he went like something like Hereford, Chesterfield, boom, and then he was away for a few years.
Someone else said that yesterday. I can't remember. Got a lad called Kieran Wallace. It might have been him. And he said he got released from every club.
Yeah.
And then bang,
Yeah.
Premier League.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's just crazy how football works. You just got to. I think you got to be lucky, and you got to have a manager to like you. You got to have one of the two to get to the top.
Right place, right time.
100%.
Well, you have to be tuned in, don't you? You have to be prepared physically and mentally, ready to go, so that when the opportunity does come, you know, there's a chance where you can push on.
There's a lot of factors in that.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? You've got to be good enough.
Yeah.
You got to be mentally tough, and you got to be lucky, you know, and things like that. So there is a lot of things that go into making that one big thing off in football.
My mate was playing non-league Exodus. He was doing the rounds, and then
another one who thought he got a lung throw until local along.
You reckon you got a longer throw than Exodus?
100%.
You probably have now. He's like 50, and he now.
But I'm 33.
But he got to move to Peterborough in the Championship.
Yeah.
And that, he was doing that week in, week out. It was a weapon. So I'm not saying you're going to move to the Championship, mate. I'm saying if you keep throwing it, the Olympics is coming up. So pick up a javelin.
Beijing 2034, I'm coming for you.
He's a Stoke player everyone refers to as
Dilap.
But
you know what I always say? It was a weapon.
Yeah.
But he got to use towels.
Yeah.
But I was watching Forest Green were playing York last night on the telly, and Ben Towles has got a lung throw, but he was allowed to use towels. Now, I've been told I can't use towels.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a new one. I've never heard.
Yeah. So if you watch, there's a lad at Brentford who's got half a lung throw as well. I can't think of his name. It's Jensen or Jan or one of it. So what they do with the ball boys, so the ball boys will have a ball,
Fresh ball,
and the towel, and a big cone.
Yeah.
So underneath the big cone is a towel. So every time the ball goes out, the ball boys will give the dry ball, get the wet one, dry it, put the towel back under the cone, put the ball on top.
You're giving away secrets here, mate. These are dark art secrets.
Yeah, I know, but we're not allowed to do it in our league because we can't have ball boys.
Oh, okay. What about the FA Cup, though?
Yeah, so that was the first time we could have ball boys, but there's still a fourth official with balls.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't understand, like, why can he have a towel, but I can't have a towel? Is it because I only play for little clubs or something? It's just annoying, that is, because, mate, it's going on about referees as well. These big clubs get so many decisions. Like, we got slapped at Barnet 7-0, but we should have had a penalty at 1-0. Played Southend, should have had a penalty at 0-0. You get nothing, mate.
Yeah.
You get absolutely nothing. And it's only become more evident this season. And we're only a third away through the season. Because I think referees are awful. But you can't play without them.
A tough conversation to have, isn't it, man?
Yeah.
Especially with what's happened with that one ref and the Liverpool situation. He hasn't done himself any favours, is he, with the quality of the video and what he's saying?
No. But his mate's a shitbag for doing it.
Yeah.
Or whoever recorded it. I don't know whether it was mate or...
Well, they're all they're on something, and they don't look like the...
Have you seen the picture where they're all in, is it Thailand?
No?
There's about 6 referees there. They've all got ladyboys on the knee or something.
No comments.
Each to their own and all that.
I know a few referees, but it doesn't surprise me.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, they're a breed to their own, aren't they? I think I should be able to say what I want now, but...
Yeah, of course you can.
Just got to respect them as
Sure,
well.
podcast, mate, you can say what you want.
Yeah, it's fucking mad, man. This ref situation. What about VAR?
Crap.
Yeah.
Crap.
It doesn't add any value to the game. So for me, it's questionable. It's like, why have they brought in something which adds no value? It's just for the corporates, isn't it? Or the decision makers, or a box ticking exercise, because...
It has to be money, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It has to be down to money because... It has to be down to money because football is football. Football's always been the beautiful game. And I think that's been taken away from definitely fan experience.
Working men's game, wasn't it?
It's
Yeah,
not
you look back to the war on Christmas Day when they're playing Germans. They're playing football. What a beautiful thing, man. Poetry. And imagine if they had VAR then and they're stopping the game. And
I just think technology's become too involved in football as well. 100%. Like, goal line technology, okay. Leave it at that. But, you know, when you get in offside for like a toenail,
yeah,
or I don't know, you tread on someone's toe when they're falling over and getting a penalty.
But it's still human error. It still goes to a studio
Yeah.
of 3 other people who still make the wrong decision.
Yeah, I know, but the law is the law.
Yeah.
If there's contact, it has to be a foul. That's not them in making that decision in that specific moment.
Yeah.
That is the law that they're abiding by. But then I will say is everyone's got a different interpretation of the law.
Well, it's contradictory. Some of the rules are.
So just take it away, because then there can be no controversy.
I think I spoke about it already, but the Wolves and City goal, it's coming, he's fouling the keeper.
Yeah.
For me, it's blatant foul, isn't he? He's on the keeper. He's literally like a metre away from when he moves away from the keeper.
Yeah,
so when you do it slow motion,
yeah,
and he said, look, he's nowhere near the keeper when the guy's headed the ball.
Yeah.
You don't play game in slow motion.
Nah, that's the thing. They're getting all these different freeze frames and stuff. It's all nonsense, man. Just get rid of it. But what I will say is, it was Bernardo Silva, went it onside.
Yeah.
But there's maybe 2 or 3 seconds before the ball actually goes past Sarr.
Yeah.
And then Bernardo Silva's actually on the ground crouching. But again, last season when Wolves played West Ham, the reasoning that Gary O'Neill got was it's because he's obstructed him within a metre away. So Bernardo Silva is still a metre away, and we've had different decisions. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you can't give one reason for that and then one reason for another when it's exactly
no
the same thing.
consistency.
That's
Yeah.
crap. Just get rid of it, mate. Just get rid of it.
It's the dynamics of the game, though, which has evolved and changed. Like, one of the reasons now I say everyone goes back to pre-season as super fit.
Yeah.
And, you used to have 2 months regardless to try and get fit. So, like, the thought process now for footballers is completely different, and it's more or less a non-contact sport, isn't it now? Very much. And I think the rules have stayed the same, but the dynamics has evolved, and it doesn't quite match up.
No.
So for me, back in the day, 10, 15 years ago, I'd have been going mad at my keeper, if the Wolves keeper.
Yeah.
Just fucking squash him,
Yeah.
squeeze him, grab him, throw him out the way.
But they're probably scared of giving a penalty.
Well, now it probably would be a penalty.
You know what I mean? It's just crap. Like, I get that everything evolves and you have to move with the times and all these terminologies that they use, but football just isn't football. Do you know what I mean?
Coming from the guy who throws it in.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. Someone could still do that in 10 years and the game will be completely different, but they'll probably find the technology way of saying, well, he's gone an extra yard that way, so it's a no goal, it's a free kick or something.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's what's probably going to happen, but yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure I'll even... Like, I love football, I like watching football, but when things like this happen, it just makes me think, what's the point? No, hey, do you know what I mean? Like, it's the expense as well. So the Wolves' dearest ticket now is like 71 quid.
Wow, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you're paying 71 quid and then your team loses to that decision, you're probably not going to want to go and spend another 71 quid, are you? Do you know what I mean? It's just ridiculous, man. So I don't know. I don't really like the way football's going, but because you love it so much, you still watch it.
Then it's £20 on the couch, and then it's your food there. That's another 20 quid, and then fans, they work all week for that game.
Yeah,
and whether that's non-league or the Premiership, it's all relative.
Yeah, it's just like, when does it actually stop? When does the price increase stop? When do the stupid VAR decisions stop?
Yeah,
like, it doesn't seem like they're gonna stop. Do you know what I mean? So it's just a bit bizarre, mate. Like, but when you can go to like non-league and watch idiots like me throw it in from the halfway line, do you know what I mean? You get that competitiveness where football now, it's probably just pass it there, a little bit of a pass there. Can we play through the lines? Yeah. Like, it's all the same. Do you know what I mean? Everyone's trying to be the next Pep Guardiola and stuff.
They try, but that's why the FA Cup for me is so beautiful. Yeah, because when they come to non-league teams, football league teams, and they get it rough and they get it ready, and they don't know what to expect. Yeah. And that's why, but like you say, a lot of non-league teams are trying to play football, and it works against them. Yeah, I think. But I'm a metrics guy. I love the analytics. Mm-hmm. So in my day job, that's kind of the thing I do. But when it comes to football, like when they say, they've made 47 passes and they've had the possession for 37%. Yeah. Now the one metric is whether you win or you lose. That's it.
A perfect example. Wolves played Southampton the other week. The possession was 71%. To 29%. Mm-hmm. But Wolves scored 2 goals in that 29%. and Southampton are rock bottom of the league.
Yeah.
So you can have all the possession you want, you can do all the data and everything you want, but at the end of the day, if you're more clinical than your opposition, that's where football games are won.
But the bullshit thing about it is when it comes to the boardroom and the excuse culture living, well, look, we're improving, our metrics, our green arrows going up, fitness is here, this is here. It's all part of this excuse where really it's about winning and losing, isn't it?
Of course it is. Mate, so these days you have to go and sell yourself to a club, don't you? You have to go and, some people say that they're just spreadsheets and on interviews and stuff. Mate, if you're a good manager, win games of football, you don't need to tell me on a spreadsheet that your XG is 10 times better than somebody else's. If I'm a chairman...
I don't even know what XG is.
I don't understand it completely, but I just see it all the time. 2.97 XG compared to 0.1, but they've won. So who cares?
Yeah.
Do you think a fan's going to go home and worry about XG if they've just got 3 points? They're not, are they?
No.
It's just utter nonsense.
And like I said, the good managers are played for when it comes to the heart rate monitor. They'll leave it out, Pez, because I know it's tied to my chest. They'll just say leave it out. But you drop to non-league clubs and some of them have it. Yeah, I'll put that on Pez. I said, why? Yeah. I'm not going to be running channels, but you put the ball in the box, I'm going to win it. That's it.
You play to your strengths, don't you? Simple as that.
Yeah, but a lot of teams don't know what they are. A lot of managers don't know what they are.
Like I say, it comes down to opinions again. It just depends how you see football. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I can imagine a lot of teams at our level, even being a part-time team, we have to wear them. Like, we know how much distance we've covered. Yeah. It's like a training on Tuesday, I think it was, because we drew with Ebbsfleet at home, where we was looking to win that game. So the S&C coach has come out and says, well, we didn't run as much against Ebbsfleet as we did against Huddersfield. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So they're kind of putting it, saying, if you don't run hard enough, you're probably not going to win games of football. Yeah. But I just think if you're better with the ball, then you're probably going to win games of football. It doesn't come down to winning.
Strange one, isn't it?
It's just opinion.
I've been left out of teams because they say, we want to do a high press. Yeah. And I'll say, so why are you leaving me out then? Well, you're not really the fastest, Pez. And I said, no, but what I will do is I'll stand on the one side of the defenders and I'll force them to pass it to the way where your fastest fuck winger is going to do the high press. Yeah. I'll control the dynamics of the game. But they can't see that. They just see what they see on TV on Match of the Day and start off on high press.
Yeah, and like I say, it's the only word I've got for it is opinions, and it's just how you see football. I don't know. Like I say, I only got 10 minutes yesterday because our gaffer thinks that two other centre mids are better on the ball than me.
I reckon he's resting you for the big FA Cup game, mate.
Well, we've got Sunderland under-21s on Tuesdays.
Really?
Yeah, it's this National League Cup.
Sunderland under-21s are playing in it?
Yeah. So basically, the Bristol Street Motors Cup or something, where the Premier League clubs play, the Premier League under-21s play like League 1 and League 2 teams.
Is that what it is?
So it's a bit like that, but the under-21s teams playing National League teams.
Really?
Yeah.
The loop. How are them games going?
Crap. The attendances are crap.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily get the best Premier League under-21s because they're all out on loan at clubs.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think if you win it, you get some prize money. But it's stupid stuff like if you draw in after 90 minutes, you get 1 point. But if you then go to penalties, and you can get a bonus point. When has football ever had a fucking bonus point? You know what I mean?
The game's going, man.
Yeah, but
players have been saying it for years.
Yeah, but like I say, you have to. So Saturday, 4 of them players have to start on the Tuesday in this cup game and stuff. It's just extra workload for like part-time players and stuff, and
it's a graft, isn't it, man?
It is.
So them young lads are just turning up after a day's rest, working all week and like stretching and stuff. You're Tamworth full-time now,
no,
so you still got a full-time job and that.
Yeah, I got to wake up in the morning, mate, go to work.
Have you?
No, I'll be up for the gym at 5, but...
Yeah, you've been working on, ain't you, these last few years, mate? I saw you started getting on the bikes and stuff and kind of changed your fitness regime.
Yeah, like I've always been one to go to the gym. Like, I just think it's good for me mentally. Like
Yeah.
if I don't go, I feel awful. But that's just because I've become accustomed to doing it for years.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm in the gym 6 times a week, even on Sundays after a game, just recovery and stuff.
Yeah.
But like I say, you're working all week, you know, in the gym, at work to, you know, not necessarily at work to prepare yourself, but you try and do what you have to do to work hard for that Saturday, and then
People don't understand the sacrifices, man. As a non-league player,
yeah, mate, you can see why I say on like other podcasts that I've done and stuff, and I go, and I always say to people outside, I say, you don't necessarily get the best players play at the best level
yeah,
because you don't understand how much, you know, how much you have to give to it. Your Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays are done.
yeah,
That's 3 times a week that you're, you know, say if you've got kids, you're not going to see your kids. If you've got a missus, you're not really going to see your missus on them 3 nights. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So it is a graft, and you know, my best mate Christian, he's gone to Calcer at step 4 this year, where he could probably still be playing,
yeah,
you know, step 3 or even step 2. But it's a graft,
Yeah.
and he's got 2 young kids, so that it is what it is. Isn't
done
it?
it, man. And I see some of them fixtures where you got to. I mean, I used to do Gateshead, and then the same week Torquay,
Yeah, mad.
and like I couldn't do it now. Like,
No, it's like we're in a full-time league, so it's not as bad for some of the teams. But we've got to go Hartlepool on a Tuesday. I think we got Yeovil on a Tuesday as well. I mean, what kind of stupid idiot gives them fixtures to not a part-time team?
they don't think about it, do they?
No, they don't. They don't care. They just
Don't
probably
care.
put it in a computer. Ah, well, they'll have to
It's
deal
like
with
a
it.
game to them, I think.
Yeah, so you've potentially got to have a day off work on the Tuesday, or half a day on a Tuesday, because you're probably got to leave at 1, 2 o'clock,
Yeah,
and then you're not getting back till 3 o'clock. So you've probably got to have the full day off the next day. Do you know what I mean? Or some people might be lucky enough to work from home, but if you're not lucky,
and that's your holidays as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then when it comes to an holiday, you've got to have it.
yeah,
What is it, June?
yeah. So early May, yeah, or second week in May to like.
Playoffs go till.
Yeah, that's the problem, innit? If
Middle of
you're up and around them, and then you're back in July.
It's a graft, man.
Yeah, but
That's what I mean. I've done it for so many years. Like
Yeah.
you lose sight of anything else, then yeah, it's all encompassing. Takes over everything. So
what clubs are you full time in non-league? Obviously, I know you played pro, but
Tamworth was full time when I was there.
was it?
Yeah, yeah.
Was that National League North or?
National League? No. I was we was top of the National League when I was at Tamworth with Gary Mills as the manager,
Yeah.
nearly up until Christmas.
Oh God, don't like him.
Gary Mills.
Yeah, I'm not saying I don't like him, but
Mate, you're entitled to your opinion.
Yeah.
This is the thing. Like, I don't mind people having.
it's not say I don't like him. It's just when I went to Stafford Rangers when he was there, and
Gary Mills.
yeah, I'm sure he managed.
Don't think he has, mate.
We'll have to Google it, but I'm sure it was him. He so I was in like the youth team or whatever, and
So it's a long time ago then.
yeah, so they'd scrapped the reserve league at Stafford Rangers. And Mick Hathaway, he went to be a coach for the first team
Yeah.
for Gary Mills, I think it was, and he got me in. I went there and did pre-season, and I did 10 minutes, literally as a striker, and then I just get a phone call, and he says, "Oh, it's probably best if you look for something else."
Yeah.
Like I was only a young boy, so I probably went to many, but to judge someone in 10 minutes
Not
out
fair,
of
is it?
position
No.
is a. You know, I got there and I'd like everyone's got a number, and you get that shirt that's got no number on. You're thinking, you look back to it and you think the writing's on the wall,
Yeah.
like the writing was on the wall, and then you get 10 minutes up front. I think that might have been in the conference when I was in there. I can't remember. It might not even be him, but I think it was him.
It would have been a long time ago.
Yeah.
Steve Bull had a little stint as.
Yeah. Well, I think he might have come in after him.
Yeah.
I think because I think that was a little bit of a PR stunt to try and get more fans through the grounds. And I used to go and watch him, to be fair. And he was on the old Setanta Sports.
Yeah.
And Stewie Pierpoint, who, I student, yeah. Is it Stourbridge with us?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he was playing right back then. I'll never forget it,
Yeah.
because they always used to shout, "Pierpoint, you shit."
Yeah, he's a great lad, isn't he?
Yeah,
Player as well.
top guy. But yeah, played, and we went off script with Gary Mills, but I'm sure it was him.
It might have been.
It was him.
It might have been, but he's like old school. He grew up on Cloughie at Notts Forest. He's a Nottingham lad. But you just saying that, it reminded me of... So I did quite well at Telford. But again, I was pushed out the door. That was Rob and Larry at the time who got me out.
Was that their first time?
Yeah.
Because
So they wanted him to bring in their Dean Perrow and all their other players. But they also bought a striker for 5k. But it is what it is. He rang me on the way to work. So the end of the season, they come on board and they set us all the task. You know, all strikers, we're going to give everyone a chance. I scored the most goals. In the pre-season, they give me the call on the way to work and it says, nah, Pez, we're going to go with what we got. I think a lad called Ben Twiggy got a text message saying it's not for us. But then I ended up at Hensford and Phil Starbuck, another Nottingham chap, played a couple of games, cracked my rib, and I wanted to be the hero again and keep playing. And after the first league game, he says, Pez, can I have a word in my office? Yeah, gaffer, no worries. Go in the office, sit down. He walks behind me, he gets a beer out the fridge and he says, you're not for me. And then he walks out. And I was sitting there.
She was said, can I have a beer then as a parting gift?
So what do I do now?
Yeah.
I wanted to knock it on the head then.
Yeah.
I wanted to quit, mate. I said, that's not for me. It's a mugs game full of idiots. But all my pals who was on my scholarship, there was all at Willinghall, Mellies, Dean Edwards, big characters, mate. And my pal, Danny McGee, who's in America now, doing well with his global stuff, he made the call. He said, Pez, come in. So it was me and Matthew Barnes-Armour's first game. And he was against Stourbridge and we beat him like 8-0 or something. I scored 3, he scored 2, I was off to a flyer. Got my brother in. We was in Atlantis and Oceana every Saturday night, every Thursday. And that just pushed me on. It made me enjoy it again.
Yeah.
Chase Down was chomping at the bit to try and sign me. Again, decisions in football. We was bottom of the league, Willinghall was. We won nearly every game, got to the playoff final, and they just left me on the bench.
Yeah.
And I played every game, scored 37 or something. And there was like, we make the fucking decision. It was probably because it would have, if they got promoted, it would have done the club. They would have been bust.
Yeah.
So because of that decision, I said, chuck my toys out the pram and went to Chasetown.
Yeah.
It's a mad game, isn't it?
Sure, I when your brother was at Willinghall, I'm sure I did a training session with Willinghall. And
You must have been a young pup then, though.
yeah, I would have. I was at Brockton at the time, so I'd only be like 17, 18 maybe. It was when the club was bad, Willinghall at the time. But I think the manager had just left. The pitch was terrible. The players had been promised a few quid from, must have had a win in the FA Cup or something.
There was doing it. There was like, if you turn up, your boots are dirty. That's a tenner out your wages. Like they do everything.
Yeah.
Yellow card. That's 25 quid.
Yeah.
Like I said, at one point our Thursday night training sessions was on the car park. We had to have the beamers on our cars. And Finlay, one of my pals, he had to wear Dean Edwards' Dr. Martin boots to train him. It's not even a joke. That's typical non-league, isn't it?
Yeah, it happens, mate, don't it? But yeah, it's sad to me because like Willinghall's my local team, which is now Calcer, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. You've been Calcer?
Have I been?
Yeah, have you played there or been to the facilities?
No, I've been to the facilities, yeah. So, like I say, when I had an ankle operation, I was just touting about for games and stuff.
Really?
Yeah, so I went and did a game for Rowie. I think we played like Dudley Town or something, just in a friendly.
Yeah.
And I played for him, but I've never actually played for Calcer.
Yeah.
Apart from that game, but mate, I went to watch Stourbridge Calcer the other week in the Senior Cup game. It took me like 6 minutes to get there. I'm thinking to myself, my missus is due. This is 6 minutes. But I've got to hold him away in a few weeks. Do you know what I mean? So he's one of them. You have to weigh everything up, but I wouldn't swap anything for where I'm playing football at the minute.
No, of course not, mate. You're flying, especially with the missus. Yeah. Pregnant as well. You got it all going at the minute, haven't you?
Mate, life's hard at the top.
But isn't she due when that game is? Oh, mate. It's going to happen, isn't it?
Yeah, so she's due the 28th and the Burton game's the 1st. So I have got a couple of days, but you don't want to miss training on the Thursday or nothing, do you?
And they'll come on the due date, though, do they? Never pops out, so it's a couple of days after.
The first one's always a little bit late as well, so I'm hoping the excitement of me scoring the winner against Burton will make her pop out, so then
I think you'll be pulling it out, won't you?
I said, so yeah, just leave me a couple of...
Oh,
yeah, Burton's not far, to be fair, so I said, just keep it in for an hour and I'll be there, you know what I mean? So,
but where's she having it?
New Cross.
New Cross. You might end up at the Birtle Hospital, mate.
No, well, so I don't think she'll be coming to that game. So.
No, you never know, though, do you?
I know.
If it means like the sake of you playing the game, get it to the Burton Hospital.
Yeah, I know. She ain't got a ticket now, she can't come. Not to stay at home. Her mom's coming in with us anyway, so yeah, I said, just take your mum in, I'll be there as soon as I can. But yeah, it's all going on, mate.
It's class, ain't it?
It's all going on.
What do you think they're doing for preparation to try and counteract your weapon?
Not let me have towels. Let's start off with, but
Of course, it's at Burton, isn't it?
yeah.
You know what it is? I don't think there's anything they can do.
No, it's not.
No, I
You
don't
can
think
prepare all week.
Yeah, and I think they will.
Yeah,
And I think then Creaney will score a tap in or something, you know what I mean? Because the focus is on that, they'll lose track of something else.
To be fair, like I say, when we played Barnet, the slats of 7, and they'd done a whole day's analysis on Tamworth, but they'd done a few hours on not giving any wet throws away.
Yeah.
And they never give us one throw.
Really?
Yeah.
So it worked then?
Yeah, it did, to be fair. But like I say, that's the difference between full-time, part-time. We couldn't do, a few hours on anybody.
I didn't consider that, like stopping the source. I was just thinking, like, how would they stop the throw? But yeah, kicking it out for a corner or kicking it.
Yeah, well, when I was at Tipton as a kid and you got the running track so I could have a good run up and I was chucking it in and I did actually have a keeper kick it out for a corner, which was a bit bizarre. But I was watching the Premier League years. That's always on the telly, and I remember someone kicking it out for a throw in for a corner as well. Just so it's a little bit more
against Stoke, I think.
Yeah, it's not as alien, is it? Do you know what I mean? Because if you can get the ball dry and you can zing it in, some keepers say it's horrible. Like it's something.
What's stopping you wearing like little Velcro gloves? Little sticky gloves, rubber gloves.
I don't really make a difference. If the ball's wet, the ball's wet. Your gloves are going to get wet in there.
Same thing for a keeper, though, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I suppose American footballers.
Would you see yourself wearing goalie gloves? Are you gonna?
Mate, honestly, I'd do anything to win a game of football.
Yeah.
I swear. I remember you could have some spray, couldn't you? Like some sticky spray. And I remember putting some on, and I clapped my hands and my hands stuck on good. Fucking crap! I swear to you. No, yeah, but I don't know.
Chalk, innit? I think weightlifters chalk.
Yeah,
that might be a good shout.
That's just to stop your hands sweating, though, isn't it? Their weightlifting bar's not going to get wet, is it? As a football would if it's raining.
Fucking all right now, it's all. I'm just trying to think of solutions.
No, I've tried it. It doesn't, mate. To be fair, it doesn't matter. It just means it's probably not. It's probably going to be 5 yards off and a little bit more loopy. But like you say, you can do all the homework on it.
Yeah.
If you've got, because we've got some big lads at Tamworth, like a 6'2", 6'3", 6'4", 6'5", but if they judge it right, it's going to be hard to stop anyway. You know what I mean? Because they're probably jumping to 7 foot.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what teams do, but you can do all the preparing you want. It's a little bit different to actually facing it into.
It's a weapon. It defies the laws of gravity, though, mate. I've saw the trajectory of it. It doesn't make sense how you can do it.
My missus always calls me a weirdo, so.
Yeah, you good with your hands as well?
Very good. You're right, this just ain't a football, so do this.
This is a weird podcast. Let's see if we can talk for an hour and a half about your throw-ins, mate.
Yeah, that's good.
Now, you had an FA Cup run with Stourbridge as well, didn't you?
Yeah. We got to the third round then. That was class, to be fair.
Was that Wycombe?
Yeah, so the first round we beat Whitehawk, I think it was. And then the second round was Northampton on a Monday night. But originally, it should have been on the Saturday.
Yeah.
The pitch was frozen. So obviously at Stourbridge, you got the one stand, didn't you, on the one side. So the sun never used to get to, like, say be a 6-yard box.
Yeah.
So it was just froze. So the game got called off. And funny, man, because we were playing on the Monday, I think it was. Because the game got moved from that Saturday to the Monday because we played our home games on a Monday. But we're all in the bar getting pissed. Mate, they must have took some right money in that bar afterwards.
That's what it's about.
Yeah, but that's the kind of club Stourbridge was, man. It was class. You have Matty Doddsy, and he got his speaker. He used to bring the speaker. He'd got his speaker on the stage. He's got his top off. The lads are sending videos into the...
Who else was there? There was Duggan, weren't there?
Yeah, Duggs was there. Scary.
Bembo,
yeah. Chris Late. KO, me, Leon, Christian. Matty Gold, Darryl Westlake,
Yeah.
player, man. Remember him?
Yeah.
Darryl Westlake. He was a player, man. Right back, left back. I remember saying to him, "Have you ever played in the third round of the FA Cup before?" He says, yeah. He says, "I never used to come in till this round." And he says,
Yeah.
"And I've scored at Celtic Park as well." I was like, "Oh, all right, I'm all asking no more questions."
He just took it with a pinch, though, didn't he? He wasn't like obsessed or
Nah.
driven to carry on.
I don't think he really liked football. It was just one of them. He was half decent at it, and he'd made a half decent career out of it.
Yeah.
I think he ended up driving wagons or something.
Really?
Yeah. I think it was like his uncle knew Andy Poutney, the Stourbridge chairman. That's how we ended up.
It's not what you know, too, sometimes.
Exactly. But what a player he was. But yeah, it was class, mate. We beat Northampton 1-0. Big Dugs with a header.
Yeah.
Yeah, what a night that was. And I went again. You get to, the news starts phoning you up because I was captain at this point. And can we come to your work? And what do you do for work? Can you do this for the paper and stuff, mate? It was crazy. But now, because like social media has become so much more out there, like there's a lot more going on now.
Yeah.
It's like I've ended up playing darts with Luke Humphries at the world number one. Do you know what I mean? Like the best thrower in Tamworth against the world number one dart.
You get his number or what?
I've got him on Twitter. Yeah. But yeah, mate, it's surreal. It is good. And then we beat Northampton, Wickham, against Big Akin Fenwa.
Yeah.
He was good, man.
Okay.
And he was quicker than you thought. I'll never forget. Obviously, they got a goal kick. And like me being me, I'd try and stand on his toes, like just so we couldn't win the header. And I remember him going to me, he goes, "Little boy, don't do that. There's no point. There's better players than you tried that, mate." And he just put his hand on my shoulder and I just collapsed. He was heavy, mate.
He's wide, isn't he?
Yeah, but good player, man. Knows his strengths. You have to adapt to what you can.
Do you reckon I could take him in a charity boxing match or what?
Yeah.
How tall is he?
He's not tall.
Nah, it's mad, isn't it, that? Because he's always played as a target man.
Yeah, he's probably
Just wide.
5'9", 5'10".
Really?
Yeah. You're just like a...
He's a hammer on him.
Whack-a-mole or something, right? Gets hit with one there.
Whack-a-mole.
You got to be like 6'3", and 6'4".
6'4" and a bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Touching 6'5" with my spine marks are messed up and compressed from all the shit I've done and all the wrestling over the years.
All the wrestling there. But yeah, man, it's class.
Danny Smith, I'm a run at Chase Town, mate. He did well from sponsorship deals after that cup run.
Really?
Yeah, so I reckon if you beat Burton, mate, you might be quids in.
What could I get a sponsorship though? Could I sponsor my shoulders or something?
You could get an hair transplant.
Oh, nah, them days are gone, mate.
You don't know. You got it on the side, and you got the Bobby Charlton. Mate, grow the Bobby Charlton for the game.
Shall I?
Grow a tosh and the sides out.
Mate, my missus won't let me leave until November. That's just stupid.
You
are
the boss.
stupid.
Is she the boss, is she?
If you think she is.
Yeah, we got to let them think that in,
Yeah. If I tell her the heating's not going on, the heating's not going on. So she puts it on whatever works.
This, man? It's like my brother's the same. And just never puts it, turn the light switches off all the time.
Mate, like, you got 65 coats under the stairs.
Put a coat on.
What do you want the heating on for?
Sit in your house. You're meant to have an house with the heating on.
No.
Fucking, I can imagine you got like a barrel with all like logs in there burning.
Nah, I'm not that bad, to be fair. Mom, I've said I want to get one of them Calagas heaters.
Yeah, the classic, mate.
Yeah, I haven't one of them in my house. Why? My nan's got one on the ledge, man, but nah, man.
My nan's got one.
These women are built different.
Yeah. Where did you go after Stourbridge? Because you had a little stint in the National for Solihull, didn't you, as well?
Yeah, that was with Liam McDonald was manager at the time.
Okay.
Didn't hardly played really, to be fair. Yeah, I think I made 3 appearances. I think I got 2 assists in, you know what I mean? But it was tough because I always
just wasn't the right place, wasn't the right time.
Nah, we took a lot of step 3 players to step 1.
Yeah.
Because Solihull then wasn't what Solihull is now.
Isn't Tamworth more or less doing the same? Like Glinchee's been at Colville for a long time, Creaney.
Yeah.
But they're more gelled.
Yeah. We were. It was a little bit chaotic at Solihull at the time. I think our first game of the season got called off because the stadium wasn't up to scratch and stuff. Do you know what I mean? And then everyone's calling like a tin pot club, and people were leaving like a couple of days before the start of the season and stuff. It was a bit, it wasn't great at the time, but at the end of the season, they stayed up. Do you know what I mean? So it is what it is. They stayed up. But yeah, I come on a sub at Leighton Orient and set up Dapo for the goal. Got it back to 2-1, lost 3-1 in the end. But that was an experience. Leighton Orient, like proper. I think they're where are they now? League One, League Two.
I can tell you.
One of them. So that was nice to play there. And then
I had to look at the leagues when you was coming. I was like, Forest Green are in the national.
Yeah, some big clubs. Like I say, we played Oldham Saturday.
Scunthorpe as well.
No, we beat Scunthorpe to the league last year.
Wow.
Yeah, we beat them away on Tuesday night, 1-0. Just a classic.
They've dropped quick, haven't they?
Mate, it's all about money.
Yeah.
If you've got no money, it's hard to survive in football.
Yeah.
Even you think teams have got money, but they don't actually go up, because you can have all the money in the world, unless you turn it into results, you're not going nowhere.
What's the best earner in the game? Is it like Championship to Premiership? But then you've got to spend the most in the Prem, haven't you?
Yeah, probably. Because like you say, you listen to all these football podcasts and the wages just doubles, doesn't it? Or if you go down, it halves kind of thing. So I imagine that's the biggest step up in wages. But if you were, say, a young kid, part-time, and a full-time team at National League level comes together, that'd probably double your money as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because even if you're a young kid, they've got to be offering you 500-600 quid to go full-time.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And if you accept anything less than that, you're stupid.
That's how I ended up in non-league myself, because Walsall was, I think there was top 5 in the Championship. There's no chance I was getting an opportunity there.
Yeah.
So when my contract come up, I found myself, I didn't have an agent, didn't have any
I'm not
contact.
saying I've never had one.
Fell into non-league. Well, I had agents throughout my career.
Yeah.
It's a touchy subject because I've got done over by an agent. Signed a deal with one of them for about 3 or 4 months, was paying him. And then I get this London Magistrates Court or Small Claims Court letter saying I haven't paid the agent and now they're suing me. I'm like, what the hell? Tried ringing the agent because I didn't hear off him.
Yeah.
The number you've dialed, mate, you done me in. Absolutely done me in. But, thankfully, I made a call to the PFA, which had been fantastic for me throughout my career.
Yeah.
And they said, leave it with us, we'll sort it.
Never heard a bad word said about the PFA.
Unbelievable, mate.
Yeah.
If you want, whether it's education, mental health.
Yeah.
I've smashed my 2 front teeth 11 times and they've paid for, the majority of those for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've been quality for me, mate.
Yeah, it's like we had a lad at Tamworth and he had a knee injury and he was in the PFA and done 2 weeks rehab there. Like,
yeah.
Just clashed, you know what I mean? And not lucky enough to have it myself, but yeah, you never get a bad word said about the PFA.
No. It's a shame, really, isn't it, with how you get bad words said about the referees and the league and VAR, and then when it comes to the PFA, they do always support you.
Yeah, fair play, son.
Yeah.
Like, imagine they have a lot, don't they?
Yeah, just a bit, yeah.
Who's this top in the middle?
That's Port Vale. That's Port Vale away. So for anyone who can't see, I've got some of my old shirts up on the ceiling. So I've got Mansfield Town, Telford, Hereford, Port Vale. That's my Chase Town top from the
FA Cup run.
The FA Cup run. That's Altrincham. I love my time at Alty.
Yeah, I can tell you always put it on your Twitter when it's trying to get a move.
Them 30-yard goals, yeah.
Oh, fucking hell. Pez is trying to play again. Kyle Perry signed for Shepshed.
That lasted a week. Over 2, actually.
Did you get paid for that?
At Shepshed. Yeah. Good chairman. Good bloke. Yeah.
Fair play.
Yeah, good club, mate.
Right down the bottom.
Yeah. I didn't even know what league there was in, do you know what I mean? I went up against Kitcher, Boldmere and Darlow and, some great local non-league people who've been around for years. But, I just took it with a pinch of salt. It got me out of the ice.
Yeah.
Give me the bug back a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's like, it just makes you know that your time's come and gone, really, because what I enjoyed, that's kind of not it anymore. That, that's
changed, didn't it?
Yeah, you go in the dressing room, everyone's sitting on the phone. There's not really any chat. There's no banter.
Yeah.
There's not really
any that's what's good about Tamworth. I've got some good lads, man.
Big personalities.
Not
or just all in it together.
Yeah. Like they all have the crack. Like it's proper banter. Like like there's no clicks or nothing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like before, you just think, there's 5 over there, and there's 5. New lad. Who am I going to sit with? Like,
Yeah.
do I just sit in the middle? But no, the Tamworth class, man. Yeah, some really good people there. The cracks.
Like I actually think the game's better off for it the way it is now,
Yeah.
and like the mentality of players. I saw a viral video, where the player gets pulled off and the manager grabs him.
That was that Pet Collect when he used to
Yeah.
be Blues manager.
But then the players got sacked. Have you seen that?
No,
Manager
not-
grabs it, and there's no other industry where a manager would do that to one of the employees, and then the employee gets disciplinary and gets done. I mean, I don't know what happened behind the scenes, what he said or what he'd done on the pitch, but there's no excuse. But back in the day, I've had kegs thrown at me. I've been fucking, you
What,
can't
by managers?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah, you can't legally say some of the stuff which has gone on. Like,
No, of course you can't. No.
but it was disgusting, mate. And now you can't do it. But I mean, on the flip of that, you can't really talk to players. You can't shout at them. You can't tell them off because they're just. Do you know what I mean?
Telling my agent. I'm getting a move.
Yeah.
Gonna be no more. Yeah. I can imagine. But the Tamworth crack is class.
Yeah.
It's a little bit old school. We've got some older heads in there, do you know what I mean? So you got a bit of everything in there. Even the young lads are. Like, no one really sits there with their earphones in or anything.
Yeah.
I
Do
mean-
you have any young lads though?
Yeah, you got a couple.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got a couple of young lads. There's, I think, I'm the oldest outfield player.
Ugliest. You're the ugliest. Nah, Jazz sings up there for me, mate.
Jazz,
Yeah.
you think you're ugly?
Yeah, he looks like he should be in like an horror movie or something.
Oh,
No, I like Jazz.
No.
I'm only name dropping him.
Nah, mate, he's a really nice guy.
Yeah, he's classy.
Even off the pitch. Like,
Yeah.
the amount of times we've just been for a beer or we've been on nights out for people, birthday and stuff.
He's having a great career, and I used to play him when he was at Kidderminster back in the day.
Yeah.
And then like he's still going and still going strong and still winning games, making those saves, last minute saves.
He's got great technique as well for a 34-year-old keeper. You know what I mean? And like he's got these side swazzers and stuff, whatever they call it. But he's got good hands as well, to be fair. And he still gets
Tony
better.
Breedens.
Nah, he's a little bit more drop kicky than the high side swazzer. But yeah, really good guy. Really good guy. Never have a bad word to say about him. But he's definitely not ugly. I'm trying to think of the ugly players in our team now. I could be up there. Mate, I got called Voldemort the other week.
Oh my God. That's horrible.
Oh, mate. I'm taking he's South End away. I'm taking a throw in. And I'm by there. I don't know, they're hooligans or the ultras or whatever I want to call themselves. And they're going, Harry Potter, he's coming for you.
What funny?
They're talking to South End. And I'm going. And then I get off the pitch and Kyle Finn, I think he was in the stands at this point because he was injured. And he gone, Tonksy, I can't believe what you said to you. And I was like, mate, you know what? I actually found it so funny.
Yeah, that's comical.
But yeah, and then we always do these stupid things there. We take pictures and crop them, and there's always a few flowing about in the
WhatsApp
chat.
group.
Yeah, you know it is, mate.
You look like Tom Hardy when you were there, didn't you?
Was that good looking? Nah. Oh, cheers, mate. I'd have gone Bradley Cooper.
I was just trying to
myself.
I was just trying to build you up
Yeah, cheers.
before the big game.
Yeah, cheers. Brilliant. Mate, talk to me about your music career. Just sing the guitars.
My music career.
Yeah.
Well,
Your band.
I was in a band for 5 years. I toured the country. I played with bands like the Twangs, Scouting for Girls, the Rifles,
I remember. I do remember.
Ultra Colour Scene, Lucy Spraggan. Yeah, some big names. Name dropping there.
Yeah.
The Ordinary Boys. So like these are all like decent, like British rock bands and
Yeah.
artists and stuff. But yeah, it was like turning pro because I had a stint of like non-league before it. I was like, I'd finish at 11:30, get home at 12, and be like, okay, then what do I do? One of my best mates at school was a musician. So like on a Saturday night at Wolves, we'd get to like varsity or whatever and go and watch a band. And I was like, we could do this.
Yeah.
Pissed up, having a laugh. And then, I'm quite creative as it is with all this sort of stuff. So I was writing music, then I was shooting videos, then I was booking tours, and I was doing charity festivals, and then that's probably last year. But yeah, the band fell apart for certain reasons. Legally, I can't go into it.
Okay. Wish I'd never asked. Now I'm going to get you in trouble. But
Yeah,
no, man, it's like, it's one thing I've always wanted to do is learn the piano and the guitar.
yeah.
I'm not like
I knew something with your fingers and your hands.
why would you say that?
Well, piano and guitar. I knew it was going to be something with your stupid hands, your magic hands.
What can I do?
That's why they was calling you Voldemort, because you can do all sorts of stuff with your hands.
Probably. I hope it's not my looks.
Would you fancy a piano or guitar? Would you?
Yeah, I would, but I ain't got time, man. Football and golf takes up my.
You're a golfer.
I love golf, mate. Yeah. I'm down to 12.2 there. So
see, it's like a balance of like aggression, hitting it far, and finesse. And I never had the putting. I never had the control. I always really enjoyed the range, but then
see, I'm the complete opposite. I hate the range.
Really?
Yeah. Why would I want to go and spend £8 on 100 balls? Why?
Well, I don't know, just to twat the balls as far as you can.
Exactly. But to be fair, I don't practice enough to play golf. But I should go to the range and practice. But I love playing golf, mate. Costs a fortune, though.
So what is it? Par? Are you anything par? Your birdie? What is it? I have no idea.
No.
What's the golf?
I got a birdie this morning, but I didn't play very well.
So what does that mean?
So basically, a golf hole is either a par 3, a par 4, or a par 5. So you've got to get it in 3 shots, 4 shots, or 5 shots. So that's the par for the hole.
Yeah.
So you have 18 holes.
Yeah.
So all them 3, 4s, and 5s, adding up to like a 71 or a 72 or a 73, depending on how long the course is. But
that's the best anyone's ever explained it to me. I thought you was thick as shit. That makes sense.
Just because I'm ugly doesn't mean I'm not intelligent. But no, I love golf, mate. I could sit down and explain, but it could be here a while if you don't.
Really?
Not any idea about golf.
What's that? It's a bit like tennis. What's that sport taking on?
Paddle.
Paddle. Yeah, I see a lot of footballers playing that.
Yeah, it's meant to be hard.
I've never tried it myself.
I've not tried it yet, but I think it's getting more and more out there.
Yeah,
there's a lot more centres opening up.
I saw it. Yeah.
I think there's one up Halverchurch, isn't there? I think Halverchurch have opened.
Isn't it just like squash? No, not squash.
It's a mixture of squash and tennis, I think.
Yeah, but wasn't squash a mixture of tennis?
No, because there wasn't really a net, was there, in squash?
No.
In paddle, there's a net. Yeah.
Is that?
Yeah. So it's like, them stupid things you used to play on the beach.
Yeah.
I think it's like a racket like that over a tennis net. But yeah.
In a small square court.
Yeah, I'd love to have a go.
We'll have a game. We'll have a game on this on the next one.
Yeah, come on, mate.
That'd be a bad game. No, you'd be all right at it, probably.
Mate, I actually think I'd be good at it.
Yeah?
Don't know why.
Because you're good with your hands?
Yeah, probably. It just, maybe I'll be good at boxing as well. Maybe that boxing match.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, I'd love to have a go, but I just don't want to rip my face.
Punch you back.
I've already broke my nose, chipped teeth, kicked in the face.
Mate, you can't start dropping the excuses now.
What excuses?
Were you saying you're the ugliest one in the team?
No, I didn't. I says I could be up there. Yeah. But
you didn't want to hang anyone out, though?
Nah, don't throw nobody under the bus.
Oh, you fucking hero.
I'm a good guy, that's why. I keep all my bad thoughts to
Is this
myself.
the picture you're trying to paint to yourself? Tom Tonks the hero.
I'm a completely different person off camera. Nah, I'm not, man. I like to see myself as a good guy, I think.
Yeah, no, you are, mate. You're class. What's who would you say is the best player you've played with, apart from myself? Because everyone says me, obviously.
Yeah, mate, I've played with some really good players.
You have?
Like, when I was at Stowbridge, I had Leon. Like, we used to play 4-4-2 as well.
Yeah.
Who would have been the other striker with you at Stowbridge? Is it Bembo?
You come back? No, you come back from Solihull. There was Luke Shearer. He was there with me for a bit.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you, mate. Too many teams or too many concussions, one of the two.
Yeah, probably.
Can't figure out which excuse I want to go with.
Don't matter, mate. You score goals. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You use any excuse you want. Best player, Leon was good. You know, Jamie Jelly's got to move to Warsaw.
Why now, isn't he?
Yeah, mate. Good player.
Yeah.
Yeah, really good. Got him a move. I'm still waiting for my fee.
You'll be waiting a long time.
Very long time off.
I've got a lot of players, a lot of moves. Never had one fee.
No, but I actually spoke to Boyfield and Matt Sadler in the office. I think I was on loudspeaker, but yeah, sold sold them the dream. JJ was good. Who else? What else have I played? Mate, I've had that many clubs. Trying to think.
Would you fancy a stint in the league? Would you leave your job?
It just depends on money, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Because obviously, when you're at home with your parents, it don't really matter. You probably take 500 quid full time, but when you've got a mortgage and a missus and
Mate, if that, I've known some lads who's chased a dream who's took like next to nothing just to be a pro. Yeah, and it's worked for them. It's worked for them long term.
Yeah, but that's got it. It's all circumstantial at the time, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like I say, if
you got a kid on the way.
Yeah, if you earning with football and work, say if you've got a good job and then you're earning a couple of quid from football, you're taking home 600 quid a week or something, and then a full-time club comes in and says, "Oh, we can only give you 500 quid." Well, who's going to pay the other 100 quid on my bills at home or something? Do you know what I mean? Not saying that's the money situation anybody's on, but you'd be stupid. Whereas if you're living at home and you've just got a part-time job, it's not really going to make much of a difference to you, is it? Do you know what I mean? But
it depends what your aspirations are, man. It depends what you're what you want to achieve.
Well, you've sold me the dream about the PFA, so I'd love to get in that for 12 months just in case I break my toe at a later.
Mate, there is nothing the PFA can do to help you. That's good from me.
Yeah.
You know, they could have did a better job. You know what I mean? Since I was looking at me and say, I paid for this. They could have made me turkey teeth or something.
Yeah, they're fucked, mate.
Yeah, they're not the best, are they?
You got a receipt?
Not after the 11th one, mate, no.
You said how many times?
This was like paper mache and PVA glue and everything and anything that could to get my face.
It's just from like elbows and stuff.
Yeah, like I said, the game was a lot more naughty back then.
Yeah.
And as I say, I must have picked up, I don't know how many concussions, mate. I'd love to see a specialist. Obviously, I wouldn't want to pay for one now. But just to get my brain scanned and checked out. Because, you know, the rules now are so different.
Mate, it's like you say, when I had my ankle done, and I've had an X-ray and all this, and they go, you know, you've got like 6 or 7 injuries on this ankle. I was like, nope. Just I play football on so much adrenaline.
Micro tears and everything.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Players that get injured now and then that's it, they're done, they come off. I see them put their hand up and then they don't turn up for 3 weeks. And I was like, a physio for me back in the day was to prepare you for the game.
Yeah.
He wanted to look after you as a person. He was to strap you up, drug you up, do whatever they could, strap you up to get you out there.
Games change, mate. Completely changed in that sense.
So like I say, I don't knock it because it supports the individual more.
Yeah.
But it's that pride, man. It's that passion, you know, where you...
It was one of them when you grit your teeth, don't let them know you're hurt.
Yeah.
Carry on.
Yeah.
No more, mate. If you've got, I don't know, I can't imagine how many times I've rolled my ankle or played with a broken toe.
Yeah.
Whereas now, like, you're not playing for 3 or 4 weeks, are you?
No. And there is a certain amount of pride, like sword and shield. That's how, you know, me and some of my pals, we'd call it sword and shield stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd scored at Stourbridge once and I pulled my hamstring after 50 minutes. I scored a penalty against Goldie and I had a pulled hamstring. Like, I could hardly run. I could still do my job and battle. Yeah, put one past him. I could hardly kick it.
Yeah.
But, like, it just don't happen anymore.
I remember we played, I think it was Marine at home on a Monday or Tuesday night. And literally, I've got 2 holes in my shin. This lad, I'll never forget his name, Max Hazeldine, his name was. He's done me.
Yeah.
Like, he's done me bad. I've got 2 holes in my leg. And the rich physio says, we've got no subs left. I says, the blood's pissing out of me. Like, what can I do? He says, don't know, we've got no subs. I says, I'll tell you what, Rich, just put some Gaviscon spray on it, you know, antiseptic, strap me up, put my pad over the top, and I'll play the last 10 minutes. Just stick me up front. I couldn't run.
Yeah.
Whereas these days, mate, I can guarantee you, I reckon 90% of players are in the changing rooms.
Yeah, you wouldn't see him for 2 weeks. I had a 2-inch gash on my head the once at Mansfield.
Yeah.
And the physio was just big gunk of Vaseline, shoved it in the hole, strapped you up.
Yeah.
And I remember it was at Ulty. I can't remember who I was playing for, but whether it was swine flu or cow, I had one of the things going around at the time, and I was shaking before the game. And again, I scored in the game, but I was blind all for the 45 minutes. I couldn't see, but I scored, and then I could say, Gaffer, no, I really need to not play. I can't see it. Ridiculous, man.
Games change, man.
What about playing against? Best player you've played against?
there was a lad who we played when we had another half decent run in the FA Cup at Stourbridge, and there was a lad called Drury, played for Eastleigh. He was Drury, number 8. He was good, man. He was up and down.
Not good enough to remember his full name though.
Adam Drury, I think. I think it was Adam Drury. I could be wrong. But he was a good player. And then there's a player at Spennymoor called Ramshaw.
Yeah.
I think Rob Ramshaw or something like that. He was good, man. Because like I'll pride myself on second balls and being strong. And he was good, man. He was exactly the same as me. I've never been tall. Like he was a little bit taller, so like you can just dominate a little bit more, can't you? When you
Second balls are a dying art, mate.
yeah. But do you know our gaffer at Tamworth? That's what we're on, like centre midfield players. Like win your individual battles and just do the fundamentals right. It's quite it's a bit it's not taking me back, but it's a little bit more old school. Do you know what I mean? It's like our assistant champs, like he says, some games he's a little bit bored because like there's nothing going on. Do you know what I mean? It's all nicey. Where it's like at Tamworth, the one a bit of that old school.
It's got intention. It's done with purpose.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of football clubs, good football clubs, League One, League Two, they still have that kind of principles.
Yeah.
For some reason, I don't want to knock non-league all the time, but it's this fake philosophy where they watch the Premier League and they just want to imitate, don't they? They just want to kind of do the same things as what they see.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like I say, it's all this XG and stats and stuff these days. It's just bizarre, mate.
You talk about my time at Shepshed, mate. It was my biggest qualm with them. Great set of lads, quality lads.
Yeah.
Very young, though. It was all at uni, most of them, about 8, 9 of them. They do the thing where they get to close down and then stop 5 yards from the player.
Yeah.
So they don't stop the cross, don't stop the shot, but the quick,
Yeah.
they'd run there and then just not like stop and just shadow him.
Yeah. See, I do that sometimes, but it's not 5 yards. Because I know if I get tight to a quick player, they're just going to go past me. Because my hips ain't that's what they were.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I'm 33 years of age, so I know I've got to stop you crossing it. So I need to get close enough, but I don't get too close so you can just knock it past me and get round.
But you understand the intention.
Yeah.
It is to stop the cross or stop him getting around.
Yeah.
You'll at least be touch tight in distance so you can at least grab him and yank him down or pinch him or do what you need to.
Yeah. So, like I say, mate, it's hard to pinpoint some of these youngsters, like, because you just think...
We sound like old men now.
Yeah, we do, yeah. But
turning into a moan and groan.
Yeah, we're putting the world to rights as you do every time in the gym changing rooms. But
in the pub, you mean?
Yeah. You know what, mate? I don't really go pubs, though.
Yeah.
I just, like, me and my, like, after an away game or a home game, we'll go back to the village hotel.
You got to remember, I've been with you in Wolves when you've had your top off in them fountains.
No. The where?
You know the fountains in the middle of Wolves?
Oh, shit, yeah. Yeah.
Good night, that was.
Yeah, that was when I got hair, man. I've grew up since then.
Yeah.
It's got to be about 10 years ago.
I don't know. We've had a pandemic.
It was me, you, Lyndon.
Lyndon, probably, yeah. He's always floating about, isn't he?
Ches, Adam Whitehouse.
Was he there?
Yeah.
You know?
Why did we go out?
I don't know. I think we just all bumped into each other, maybe. I don't know.
Bizarre.
We weren't even at the same team, was we? So, none of us.
No, kind of been. Was Lyndon played, didn't he, for a bit?
Yeah. I did a stint at Alvechurch with Lyndon. And then was having a few... He loves Fumo. Absolutely loves Fumo.
Oh, bro.
Yeah, he'll be there now.
Really?
Yeah, he loves it. He's got a season ticket there. He just sits at the bar with his eyebrows done and everything, drinking his cider.
On his own?
No. He's been a lad called Dan the Dog. He'll be with Dan the Dog.
Dogs together?
Yeah. No, he's a lover. He's a good kid.
Yeah, I don't know what was doing out in Wolverhampton, though.
Yeah. It's not the same, man. I was there last night.
Was you?
Yeah, well, when I watched some local wrestling, and then I popped into Slug and Lettuce with some work pals, and it's not the same, man. It used to be shoulder to shoulder, didn't it? It used to be class. I mean, a can of Carlin was £5.
Last night?
Yeah.
Oh, it's disgusting.
Yeah.
But, mate, you go anywhere now, it's minimum $5.50 for a beer. But it's just crap, innit? Mate, you know what people...
We sound terrible, man.
I know.
Like an old man.
So I'm putting the world to us. But... You scared, mate. I'm scared of going out of my house now.
Mm.
Mate, you heard about all these stabbings and everything? Mate, what is the topic of this fucking podcast? Because we've
Tom Tonks,
done everything.
Yeah, Tom Tonks, mate. Right, then what's next? What we're gonna finish it on?
We've got to finish.
Well, you have to get your missus is gonna drop, mate, in a minute.
Yeah, that's true.
No, you don't have to, but you've been going an hour and a half.
Have I really? Fucking brothers in Miami sending us all pictures, man. Fucking pissing me off.
What's he doing there?
He loves American football, so he's gone to watch the Miami Dolphins.
Is
Yeah. So
Was it your brother? There was a picture online or something shared after that Tamworth game.
Yeah.
That's class, isn't it, that he's there to watch.
Yeah, so my dad comes to every game, home and away. He come to Oldham the other day. But yeah, my brother come to that one, and it was because, like you just say, you mentioning about family and stuff. I lost my granddad as well, which is tough. It knocks you about, doesn't it? But as a man, you feel like a sense of, I need to stay strong. Yeah, do you know what I mean? And I didn't cry until the funeral. Like, it was
Really?
hard, yeah. Because like I say, my brother he did a speech and stuff, and mate, I'd gone completely gone. Like, I couldn't even look.
Start me off, mate.
I couldn't even look up or anything. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, you say there's a picture, and my brother went, "Oh, your granddad would be so proud of you," and all that. Do you know what I mean? And,
In that moment,
yeah, it's class, man. But
the dynamics of your family changes, man. That's
Yeah.
something you can't get back.
yeah,
And the thing with my mum, like the funeral was class. The amount of support and the turnout.
yeah, it's class.
Yeah, and like I'll give a story. Stood up at the front, and like I felt she'd be like, I know that's what she wanted me to do, but that's why I did it. But like, I had a frog in my throat the whole time.
Yeah, it's like my brother's really good at talking, and even he broke down like he did. Like
Proud man.
7 or 8 minutes. Yeah, and he's stronger than I am, because there's no way I could have got through that. I like I say, I just completely gone.
I'll still talk about my mum like it was yesterday, but
Yeah.
he's coming on to 2 years in March. But I'll still have a tear up every day, and I wear my heart on my sleeve, man.
I'm the same. I generally think we are kind of the same person.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? We pride ourselves on being a good person, and
and that's what it's about, isn't it?
I think you have to be a good person. Why do you want to be a knobhead in this world?
Well,
Does it make people feel big or something?
No, look, but as we were saying off air, people are survivors, aren't they? People
Mm.
will stab other people in the back. It happens in the playground. It happens when I first went into the corporate environment when I left full time. It happened in the office, and it was like a playground. It happens in the dressing room. It happens in the boardroom. Just, I don't know, man. They're not bad people, are they? Like the survivors, they feel inferior. They're like, I don't want him to take what I have. Whereas you're probably the same. Like, if we work together, we lift each other up.
Yeah.
And that's probably what you've got in that Tamworth dressing room.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. That's a good way of putting it. That is, to be fair.
I'm a philosopher, mate.
Yeah.
That's, I need to get this out. Everyone thinks I'm just this big lump.
Yeah.
But now I'm not just handsome. I'm articulate. I just have these horrible teeth.
Should we just go with articulate?
Sometimes I stop working. They're like, do you know what I mean? I start fucking in thuckatash sometimes. So I have to concentrate. But yeah, my lips have been done, mate.
Hey, we've played against each other.
Have we?
Yeah. That's when the last time I seen you. I think you was at Bromsgrove.
That's still a long time ago.
Yeah,
Where was you at?
Stowbridge. I remember you fell on me in the goal. It hurt.
We talk about the dark arts. That was one of my secrets.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah, you got to fall on them. You got to fall on them, land on them all.
That's what used to piss me off about you, because you was a big guy and I just knew you was falling off, and you get it all the time.
Yeah.
It's one of them. When we played together, I knew exactly what you was doing. So I thought it was brilliant. But when it's against you, you're thinking, ref, you know what he's doing. Do you know what I mean? But
that's the lack of respect I've had for him in my careers, because I've
but
got more respect from the other team.
yeah, but I respected you because I knew what you were doing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because I've seen it for me in a good way. For me, I knew exactly what you. That's why, like, I don't ever disrespect anybody, because if you're still playing football, you earn my respect.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And yeah, it's like I say, mate. I don't care how anybody paints me. I know I'm a good person, and I know you're exactly the same.
Yeah,
And when you're on a pitch, you just want to win games of football and you want to score.
You want to be the worst person there is.
Exactly, mate. There's probably loads of people who think that Tonks is a prick, but I'll play hard on the pitch.
Yeah.
But if you want to win the bar, I'll buy you a beer.
Yeah.
But no problem. But like in that 90 minutes, I just want to win a game of football. Do you know what I mean? And It's them people, like, managers talk about 1%. Like, I will do anything.
Yeah.
It's like people say, would you cheat to win a game of football? See, that's a sticky one for me because I'll do anything to win a game of football, and I'll see it as I'm gaining an advantage.
Yeah.
I'm not cheating. I'm just trying to gain an advantage to win.
It's a light. I'll call it the dark arts. A lot of people say it's cheating. It's not, because it's doing what you can in a game, in the rules, to do what you can to win.
Yeah.
And I've had it done against me, and it's like, sometimes it's 50-50 with the rolls on ace. As much as you give it, you get it as well. But you know, like the pinching on the back of the arms, I used to love that.
Yeah.
I used to love the pinching here, grabbing them, but I'd get it as well. That's why I'd be black and blue at the end of it. But I did it once. I think it was a centre back called Kovac, and he was a 6'8" monster. And I thought, I'm going to, straight away when there's a goal kick, I'm going to grab him under the arms and twist it as hard as I can.
Yeah.
Let him know I'm in the game. Usually like the flip out, and I've got a few sent off doing it. And I've done it to him, and he's like Ivan Drago from Rocky. It's not even flinched, and straight away beat me in my head. I was like, fuck, this guy's a monster.
Yeah, I used to do the one where we got a throw in, and I'd push her just to get you up, or I'd twist her at the same time. You know what I mean? So they'd be like, fuck you, I'm going to kill him. And next one, but they get to smash her. Oh, yellow card.
Yeah.
And you've won.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You've gained an advantage.
There's a throw coming in, and I'm backing up into my player, and I'm trying to find his big toe.
Yeah.
Trying to find his
But
big
mate,
toe.
against Huddersfield, if you watch them, I'm trying to take a long throw, and like there's a little wall on the bench, and they're all just trying to tread on the back of my ankles and stuff. Do you know what I mean? And because they're old boys and stuff like that, and you know, these older managers now, because I can at Tamworth, I can get it in from the dugout.
Yeah, it's mad.
And they'll try and stand in the way. Like, do you know what I mean? I know exactly what you're trying to do, and I think you're a knob. But fair play to you.
Yeah.
Because you're trying to gain an advantage for your team because you know we're trying to gain an advantage.
Well, back in the day, you could stand in front of the guy taking the throw, couldn't you?
Yeah, well, you can do it now, but you have to be 2 meters.
So it's not the same, is it?
So they tried to do it at Ebbsfleet at the weekend. I said, mate, you are the most pointless man in the world right now because you've got to stand 2 meters away.
You know what I'd do? I'd get somebody on his shoulders. Now I'd get somebody, like for the team against you.
Yeah.
I'd get somebody on his piggyback, like in rugby.
Yeah.
And, you know, putting his hands up.
Yeah.
It's not against the rules.
I'd just go off you like that.
And they'd have to sidestep.
But they're not going to, are they? Because they're not going to be able to move in time. But yeah.
I could get somebody on my shoulders, mate.
You'd be about 13th.
Yeah, but you would just throw it in the face.
Yeah.
That happened to me a few times. I thought I'd being clever and then just launch it in my face.
Yeah. Nah, but it is a weapon, mate. I love it. Everybody knows who I am.
Yeah. And they're going to after...
yeah.
I'm going to say next Saturday, so I'm going to air this a few days before the FA Cup game. I don't want them to, you know, watch this and get too many hints and tips. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I'm...
Do you know any Burton people?
Don't know if I do any more.
Yeah. That's all right then.
Josh was there not long back and Multi. I don't know who's in charge there. And
Jake Malt.
Louis, ain't he? Louis was there. Yeah, Jake's his brother though.
Yeah, no, Jake, he come to Stafford for a bit.
Oh, of course he did, yeah.
Yeah.
But Louis, I think he's back up in Scotland now. But he's at Burton for a bit, yeah.
Yeah, they've got a lot of young boys. I don't actually think they've got an official manager at the minute.
So it looks good for you, mate.
Fingers crossed. But they've turned into fucking prime boroughs, haven't they, the last 2 games?
We'll see what happens when some big boys come up to their place and
man. Get amongst them.
Grab them up.
Yeah, man.
And then who would you fancy in round 3?
You just dream of playing at Anfield or Man United, didn't you?
You know, I thought he was going to say Wolves.
Yeah, but as a Wolves fan, I said this to everybody, 100%, I'd love the Wolves. But...
You probably played at the Molyneux in some dog shit.
Yeah, I'm unbeaten at the Molyneux, if anybody wants to know. Wolves, if you want to sign me, I am unbeaten. But, yeah, it's... you're not going to be able to beat Old Trafford or Anfield.
No.
But
I think it's Anfield when they're all singing before the game.
Yeah.
That's football, man.
Yeah. It's like I say, when I was captain at Stowbridge and I walked out at Wickham, because I was captain, and you're the first one out, in you, and like that's the only time I've really had goosebumps.
Why was you captain? What was going on there?
I'm a fucking leader of men. I am the leader of the pack.
I am the leader of men.
Don't know, mate. Do you know what? Most clubs I've been to, I've always ended up taking a captaincy for something. Like when I was at Stowbridge, I was captain for a while. I think I did it a few times at Elzoin. I think I did it a few times. Yeah, I definitely did it a few times at Stafford as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I I think it's just the way I play. Playing my heart on my sleeve, and you know, even if my team's wrong, you're right in my eyes. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm that kind of person. But yeah, I think it just comes down to being a good person again,
Yeah.
and leader of men. Yeah.
Well, Tonksy, mate, it's been an absolute pleasure.
No, the pleasure's all mine.
I'll be watching out. I'll be supporting you. And it feels like your career's pushing on again, mate. So
like
it's
a fine
class to
wine.
yeah, I'm thinking maybe I should fucking get the boots back on.
How old are you? 37
27 now.
plus 10.
And then another one.
38.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You look at least 40.
Like I said, mate, 15, 16. When I just turned 16, I played for Moor Green. Then I had a little stint at Sutton. This was on my scholarship. Then I started into non-league at 17.
Yeah. Probably about the same age, mate.
Pro at 21.
Class. Where was your first pro?
Port Vale.
Was it?
Yeah. After the FA Cup run.
Yeah.
So you do well, mate. I reckon somebody should sign you because it's a weapon. If people statistically are not scoring the goals and putting the balls in the box, and they're not getting the crosses to do it,
Yeah.
every throw is putting the ball in the box.
Mate,
you win and lose the
yeah,
games in
in
both boxes.
That's Tamworth. Be good in both boxes.
That's it.
Mate, I am better than a winger.
Yeah.
Because I will put more balls into a box than a winger.
Yeah, it's mad.
That's not even my words. Like, I don't think I'm better than a winger. I don't think I'm... Like, I always go on a pitch thinking I am the best player on this pitch.
Yeah.
Even though I know I'm not the best player. But I just think every person's thought process going onto a pitch is be the best player.
Yeah, and if
on
that's not
the
your
pitch.
mentality, you shouldn't be in it. But yeah, and I think that's maybe some of my downfall throughout my career because at times I did doubt myself.
Did you?
And I listened to the doubters, yeah.
Yeah.
But when I was on autopilot, people would say, "Oh, you're unplayable. You can't stop you on autopilot." And that's when I wasn't thinking of anything. So that's why I thought, it goes to your advantage if you're thick as shit as a footballer sometimes.
Yeah.
Because you can just crack on.
That's made me one more question. Where was your best position? Was it a striker?
You know what? Like,
Because I can see you being powerful off the right on your left foot.
yeah, you know,
Scoring goals.
because you know me, yeah.
Yeah.
And you know about my career. So the people who don't know me only see me as that target man. They'd only play me down the middle. Where really I'd be, in my latter half of my non-league career, I'd be putting on the bench and they'd be putting lads who can't even fucking stand up, let alone kick a ball or do anything with it. So they just put me in that fucking role and I'll do it.
Yeah.
I was left wing from...
I genuinely think we've had this conversation before.
Yeah, I was left wing 9 till 18.
Yeah.
And like I said, he'd literally signed me for Port Vale because he said I was the only one who could put the ball in the box. And I played against Leeds, mate, set up 3 goals from 3 crosses. And that's what chased down. I put this ball in where Denny Smith dove and headed it into the net. But I was always a goal scorer. I just had a knack for scoring goals. I just loved it. And at Mansfield, I was left of a 3 or right of a 3. You had Duffy down the middle, and then it was like me and Spatey or Briscoe, and we'd flip. And it was class, man. 3 powerhouses up top, unstoppable. Not this shit where it's a fake 5 midfield and the 2 has to end up being wing backs. None of that. It was 3 out and out strikers.
Yeah.
Unplayable.
Yeah. Fair play, man. Can't shoot me up then.
What about you?
Fuck is that?
Attacking midfield, CDM.
Yeah, I just love being an 8 box to box.
Yeah.
Like I've had to adapt a little bit.
Box to box is a class, man.
Yeah, I've had to adapt a little bit being at Tamworth. My first game, I played Billericay away in the trophy, and I come on as a deep line midfield player, and I'm going, like, this isn't me.
Yeah.
This isn't what I've been doing for the last 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? My numbers were good at Stafford. Like,
Yeah.
I scored 10 goals. No, 10 goals plus. I'm just like, I got top goal scorer at Stafford playing as an 8.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
That's the square peg round hole thing,
Yeah.
you know. Like Bellingham's having the issue at Real with it, where he's in this sitting role.
Yeah.
Like, if you've got the weapons, use them as the weapons at what they're good at.
Yeah. But yeah, probably.
Instead of like being obsessed with, I want to play this formation,
Yeah.
and you can see the managers just obsessing with the fucking boards and the magnets every night. But really, just pick the best 11. Whoever the best 11 are, they're the ones who's playing. He's a weapon, he's a weapon, he's a weapon. And I've had, you can't run now, Pez. Now, but you've got 9, 10 other players who can do that.
Yeah.
What I can do, they can't do. Why don't you see me as that? But it's an opinions game.
Opinions in it. Mate. Yeah.
Thomas Tonks, thank you very much.
Pleasure is all mine.
Great seeing you, brother.
Up the Pezzabox.
Pezzadox.
Pezzadox. Pezzabox. I could do a rap. I could spit some bars.